we've heard a lot in the debate around Build Back Better how much the plan will cost. The media is obsessed with 3.5 trillion or 1.5 trillion or 2.1 trillion or whatever. How much would it cost for us not to provide for paid leave for people that need to take care of a newborn or a sick family member? Do we have those numbers? And do you think it's a failure of messaging that those aren't more widely known?
It is already costing us, because we're not going to have a healthy economy unless everybody can go to work. And half of our population, or more than half of our population, are women. And they're constrained based on the fact that when they have a child, or when they have to take sick leave to take a child to a doctor, they will lose their job. So it's costing us billions of dollars. There are figures on that, how many billions of dollars we're losing each year based on the fact that we do not have a healthy workforce. We used to be, 30 years ago, we used to be number 6 when you take a look at women's labor force participation rates. Now we're back to number 36. So the United States in the past 20 years, when it comes to women and the economy, has gone backwards. And the one thing about paid leave that's very important, it is not just women and families who would benefit from that. And I think that's a great point that you're bringing up here. Our entire economy would be healthier. Our GDP would be much higher if we had a healthier workforce. We just can't rely on only half of our population in order to build a healthy workforce. We need to include women in that.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. It's like in what, for all the conservatives who are excited that women are being forced out of the workforce to raise kids because literally nobody else will. Like how do you expect people to survive? How do you, how is the economy somehow so good that you can survive on one income? You can't. Or no income if you're a single mom, right? Like you can't, there's no way. So, and you talk about the politics behind this, especially around Build Back Better. Joe Manchin is essentially saying this. He is holding the entire country hostage by saying that you have to pick either it's paid leave, child tax credits, or universal child care. So this is from Axios not so long ago. He said, Joe Manchin is telling colleagues that progressives need to pick just one of Biden's 3 signature policies for helping working families and disregard the other 2. People familiar with the matter tell Axios. By forcing progressives to choose among an expanded child tax credit, paid family medical leave, or subsidies for childcare, Manchin is complicating any potential deal, but also signaling his willingness to negotiate. I don't know about that last part, Axios, but that was cute. AOC responded, of course, to this saying, yes, the conservative Dem position. You can either feed your kid, recover from your C-section, or have childcare so you can go to work, but not all 3. All 3 makes you entitled and lazy. But fossil fuel money, keep the pharma prices high, and not taxing Wall Street are, quote, non-negotiable. So this is the thing that with capitalism, right? It is, you basically privatize all the loss, right? But you make I can't remember the saying, fuck it. But basically, like you're relying on the workforce, right? You want a healthy workforce. You make tons and tons of profit. And then any kind of, oh, you need healthcare, you need family care, your parents or your husband are sick. No. You take care of that all by yourself. And then we're seeing that as sort of the social safety net's been chipped away at.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just wanted to jump in real quick, but there's also been a conservative and centrist freak out about a drop in birth rates. And it's sort of like, what do people expect? Like people are delaying childcare or childbirth, if they are going to have kids at all, until much later in life. So they're having fewer children. And part of that isn't, I have no problem with people choosing not to have children because that's what they want. But it really seems like the system is making the decision for people. And a lot of people are waiting so long that it's hard for them to conceive without the help of IVF or other medical intervention. Right. I wonder what your thoughts are, Simona, on how this kind of fits into the whole idea of giving people more of a choice in how they form their families.
You're absolutely right. You're spot on this, and AOC is spot on this. It should be your choice to have a child, right? Whether we're talking about economic justice or reproductive justice, this is about, Joe Manchin calls these programs entitlement. He's afraid that we're going to create an entitlement society, but I call this basic dignity. Let's give dignity to women to make sure that they can make these choices for themselves. Let's make sure that we can take care of children. And let's not make having a family a leading cause of poverty in this country, because it is. As it stands, having a child is a leading cause of poverty. And it's also the best indicator that at one point in your life, you're going to be filing for bankruptcy. And this is an issue. These family policies are issues where Democrats and Republicans on both sides of the aisle could actually come together, because providing childcare, for example, free childcare, would be one of the most effective anti-poverty measures that we could institute in the United States, and that's a progressive issue. It is also the best way to reduce abortion rates, okay? So, I mean, the data is there, but they keep fighting because they are making this about partisanship and not about American families.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and that's so interesting. Like, I feel like someone who gets lost often in the like anti-choice, bullshit line is mothers who are already have kids, who cannot afford to have more children unless, there are more support. There's more support for parents. You want more kids? You want people to just keep their babies? Well, then support them. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.